Alright, okay, so this skill is called study all sources, and you will always see this question as question E in your source-based questions. Okay, so you know your source-based questions, there are five, A, B, C, D, E. Now the question E is standard, meaning to say that, okay, regardless of whatever topic it is going to be, you will see a study all sources type of question. So how do we approach a study all sources question? Okay, now you have the handout in front of you, and if you can just look at it, you will see that the question is there. So the question states, study all sources. Stalin's rule in Russia was a disaster. How far do these sources support this view? Use the sources and your knowledge to support your answer. So it is an 8-mark question. You realize the weightage is very high. Okay, because your total source base is upon 30, and this question alone is already 8 marks. Okay, it is not difficult, okay, to actually master this skill. So most students, okay, without difficulty should be able to score 6 or 7 marks. Right? Now, how do we approach a study all sources question? First thing first, okay, you see that a statement is given to you. In this case, the statement is Stalin's rule in Russia was a disaster. So you first need to understand the statement. So in this case, for example, how would you define disaster? How would you define disaster? It's a tragedy. Is it positive or negative disaster? Negative, right? Okay. So once we roughly in our mind we have an idea that okay we are looking at whether or not Stalin's rule in Russia was a disaster, was it negative? We can go on to look at the sources. So study all sources means that all the 6 sources given to you, you will have to look at them individually. Okay, and that is what we're going to be doing today. So step 2, look at each source, analyze and sort them into sources that support the issue and sources that do not support the issue. Okay, so if you look at your handout now, I will do 2 sources with you. Okay, sources A and B. If you flip to page 4, can you flip to page 4 now? Okay, page 4 of your handout, you will see that, okay, I have given you a table. And we are going to be filling in the table, okay, for sources A and B. So now, is everybody clear on the statement that we are analyzing? Stalin's rule in Russia was a disaster. Everybody okay? Okay, so now let's look at source A. Let's look at the provenance. It tells us that it's a French cartoon about the Soviet Union. It's published in 1935. Okay, and the signboard reads, "We are perfectly happy." And then you see this picture. Okay? Right. So, now, very quickly, looking at this picture, can you tell me, from this source, is Stalin rule a disaster or not a disaster? Okay, a disaster. So you have already identified, right? Now, why is it a disaster from this source? Sorry, wait here. There's a gun, okay, pointing. Okay, a gun is pointing, pointed. What else? I'm looking at explanation. Let's say if you were to infer this source. So I can, okay, if this question is, if I phrase it in the other way, what can you infer about whether Stalin's rule was a disaster? Immediately, you can tell me Stalin's rule is a disaster, right? Because because what is happening here? Okay, you see the idea of being threatened, correct? The guy, the skeleton, okay, is being threatened at gunpoint to say what? That they are happy. Are they truly happy? No, they are not. So do the people have the freedom of expression? Yes or no? No, right? So Stalin's rule is a disaster because the people had no freedom to express, okay, their opinion. Follow? Yes? Okay. So now, then if we go to page, okay, so let's go to page 4 now. Go to the table, let's read up together. So you will see that, okay, source A, does the source support the given statement? Does it support that, yes, it was a disaster? It does. Okay, so I should write something like that. Okay, yes, this source supports the statement that Stanley Flu was a disaster. Okay, now then you have, after you have identified, then you must explain, okay, why does the source support the statement? So I can infer from source A that the Russian citizens, they lost their freedom of thought in a tightly controlled police state. Sorry, should be here. Okay, so it's very much like an inference question that you have been doing since since Sec 3. Right? So why is it that it supports the statement that Stalin's rule is a disaster? Because Russian citizens lost their freedom of thought in a tightly controlled police state. Okay, and then I go on, okay, to elaborate by saying this suggests that Russian citizens were under immense pressure to conform to the dictates of the communist state. Okay, or you can just say that, okay, they were not allowed to freely express their thoughts. It's also fine. Okay, now don't forget, is source based, so you always have to provide evidence from source. So where is the evidence that tells you that Stalin flu is a disaster? Okay, this is illustrated in the cartoon where it shows a Russian citizen being forced to express his support for Stalin's regime at gunpoint. Now, the beauty of a study all sources type of question is it is almost like an inference type question. Just that, of course, instead of just analyzing one source, you analyze, okay, minimally 3 sources. Okay, so for those of you who just joined us, okay, we are looking at study all sources, okay, a source-based skill. So we have to look at the statement that is given, right? So you look at the first page, okay, the statement is study all sources. Stalin's rule in Russia was a disaster. How far do these sources support this view? Okay, so we have looked at source A. Okay, source A, which shows you the cartoon. Okay, where you have the Soviet soldier actually holding a gun. Okay, forcing the citizen to say that they are happy. Right? So are they truly happy? No. Right? So, how does the source support the statement is Stalin through a disaster? Yes. Okay, and that is why you see, okay, in the first column, yes, this source supports the statement that Stalin's rule was a disaster. Okay, then you go on to explain why. So it's like inference. I can infer, okay, that Russian citizens lost their freedom of thought. And of course, your evidence from source. Right? Okay, if you are already done, okay, can you turn to look at source B? Okay, look at source B and see how does source B answer the statement. Okay? Okay, so far at this point in time, source A, is anybody lost? Everybody can follow? Okay, you are actually applying, alright, the skill of inference, like I said. Okay? Now, number of you are done. Can you look at source B now? While we wait for the rest. Again, it is another picture. Okay, and think about how does the source answer the statement. Does it support or does not support the statement that Stalin flu is a disaster? Okay, and then why? Okay, then your explanation from the source. I think it's on LOA also. Is it gone? Alright, is everybody done with source A? Yes, no, can you respond? Yes. Okay, now can we look at source B together? Okay, I'm going to scroll up to look at source B now. Source B, okay, the provenance. Okay, remember provenance is very important. By now you should know that. Okay, it is a painting of a school building in Soviet Union published by the Soviet government, okay, in the Russian newspaper in 1929. So the caption below reads, under Stalin's rule, many new schools are opened all the time. Alright, okay, now tell me, Stalin's rule was a disaster. Does this source support or not support the statement? Okay, very good, not support. Why? Because? Okay. Please? Don't, okay, your first one is correct. Okay, so he said that people benefited because people are now able to receive education. What do you all think? Is that valid explanation? Yes, very good. Okay, so go back to our table. Look at source B. Okay, now when it does not support, there is one extra step to take. Okay, so yes, firstly you no, the source does not support the statement that Stalin's rule was a disaster. Okay, why? I can infer that standards of living must have gone up, okay, in terms of literacy rates and access to education opportunities. Okay, therefore, this suggests that Stalin's rule had a positive impact. So that extra line, when it does not support, right, the extra line is you must then tell me how or what the source does. Okay, in this case, it does not support the statement that Stalin's rule is a disaster because it tells me that Stalin's rule had a positive impact since, right, standards of living gone up in terms of education, or like what Hafiz mentioned, okay, people benefited because they now receive education. Remember your answer, okay, it doesn't have to be exactly the same as mine. Okay, Hafiz's answer is equally as good. Right, that's why we have learned all these vocabulary when we do source base, right? Benefited, okay, standards of living, living conditions. So, as such, the positive developments that took place in Stalinist Russia do not reflect the notion that Stalin's rule was a disaster. Okay, and do not forget your evidence from source. Okay, this is supported by the caption, under Stalin's rule, many new schools are open all the time. Now, does your answer need to be as long as mine? Okay, like I say no. Right? As long as you tell me whether or not the source supports, does not support the statement. Okay? Why? So the explanation must be there. The evidence from source must be there. Okay, however, okay, a common mistake that students make is they just describe the source. Right? They don't really go into the explanation. And that is when you miss out on the marks simply because okay you do not go that one step into explaining. Can everybody follow so far? Yes? Is anybody lost? If you are lost, okay, please let me know. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you are doing okay. Alright, now the next thing I want to tell you is, okay, how do we mark this question? That is very important, right? You want to know how we mark this question, okay, so that you know how to achieve the target score that you want. Okay, now as long as you can give me one source that supports, one source that does not support, it is already L3 5 marks. Okay, meaning to say here we already have source A supports, right? Then you have your explanation and evidence from source. Then you talk about source B does not support, explanation and source. So one pair, it has to be a pair. Okay, one that supports and one that does not support will give you L3 5. Okay, maybe I will, since you are done with the source A, okay, I will just put it down at the bottom here. Okay, so one source that supports plus one source that does not support. Okay, this is L3 5 marks out of 8. Now how then do you score higher? You just add on. So if you add on an additional source to analyze regardless of which side is on, plus one more mark. Okay? In that sense, technically, okay, but you must get the first pair. You must have one support and one does not support first. Then subsequent sources that you analyze can be on either side. At the end of the day, your answer yes can be. Okay? Now, it is more important to do the first pair right, meaning your explanation and evidence must be there before you go on to analyze. Okay? Now, if there are no questions, you have 3 more sources, C, B, and E. Okay, I want you now, okay, you can work in pairs if you want to. Okay, I want you to do the same like what we have done. Okay, I want you to look at the source and then tell me does the source support or not support the statement that standing through was a disaster, explain why, and give evidence from source. Okay, and then when we come back again on Wednesday, I will give you the structure and then we can fill it in together. Alright? Okay? Then? Okay. Okay, you actually still have some time, okay? Can you at least look at source C? Source C is very short and very straightforward.